Yes, Maha, am I audible to you? Is it audible, Maha?
Yes,
All right.
ma'am.
Are your exams over now, or are they still going on?
There was a network problem. Can you repeat again?
I was asking, are your exams over?
Yeah.
Okay. So in the last class, we just started with this whole concept of least count. We did the least count. And now this device, which is known as Vernier calipers, let us just complete, and a little bit of screw gauge we'll complete. Okay, so in the last class, yeah,
Can you explain the last assignment? You gave that one question over there about the clock.
the different times were given that one.
Yeah,
Just get
the
the
time intervals.
different time intervals were given, and mean absolute value was asked. Something like this was the question, no?
Yeah, like the values were given,
Huh?
readings were given, and then it asked to find the percentage relative error. But then I don't know how to find the error because there was no error over here. It was given. So I only found the mean.
See. I think in that question, as far as I remember, I'll open the assignment and see. See, different values of time. I think different readings were given. I think five readings were given.
5 different readings were given
Yeah. So
in seconds.
you have to find out the final. What do you have to calculate?
Percentage relative error.
Percentage relative error. So see, this is the same error. Look,
Yeah.
you will first calculate their mean value. So you will get a mean. Okay. And then you will
Yeah.
subtract with each of the values. So you will get different values of delta x1, delta x2, delta x3, delta x4, delta x5. Then you will calculate its mean. So you will get absolute errors mean, their mean,
Okay.
this mean. Okay. And then divide it and into 100. Okay.
Okay.
With this value only you have to subtract. Okay, the value that we take, you have to subtract with the same
Yeah, I
value.
didn't do that part. I only found like the mean.
Oh, all right. So completed. Have you shared the assignment, Mohan?
Yeah.
Okay. See, the concept of least count which we did, I told you the smallest division that is possible. Least count means the smallest measurement that is there. Like if you have a scale, which we commonly use, so we know it is 1 millimeter. So that becomes at least count means whatever object you have, the minimum value it can measure is this, or whatever smaller object you have, the maximum value it can measure it this. Okay. Now problem with the scale is that the usual scale that we see, it cannot give us up to decimal. Okay, second decimal place. It cannot give. Second decimal is not given, because it's not possible when it doesn't have the value. How will it give? So we have the first device, two devices we'll do. First is the vernier calipers. This is how it looks like. Have you seen it in school, in your
No.
college? No. Okay, so basically in 1631, around such a long time, Pierre Vernier something was the name of the scientist who discovered this. And the advantage was that why this was discovered, basically, if I have a beaker and I want to measure what is the capacity of the beaker, to calculate the depth of beaker, this is often used in the calculations. Or if I have a very small sphere and I want to calculate the radius, so this is used for the calculation of length, height, radius, or you can say diameter. Actually diameter is calculated, but then it can be half. For spherical or cylindrical bodies, it is often used for this. Then depth of glass, beakers and all. And internal diameter of hollow cylinder. Internal diameter of hollow cylinder. The thin edge that we get over the cylinder. That is what is known as this. Now see, you don't have to remember all of these things. Basically the usages and all, nobody is going to ask you the usage at least. So what we have to do here, I'll just straight away tell you the least count for this. Okay, because that is what is important to you. Now just a little quick description of how it is present. See, here you put the object, whatever you have, okay, and whatever shift will be there on the scale, that will give you the reading. So this is the main scale. Okay, this term we'll use and we'll write this main scale. Okay, if we'll have MSR, we'll use main scale. Division, MSD, we'll use for the division of the main scale. Similarly, this is the Vernier scale, the shorter one, which you'll see, this one, this shorter one. It is actually like this. These are two separate rectangles present, which are connected from the back side. They are connected from the back side, so they are movable. So as soon as you insert an object here and it has to be adjusted, it can move. So this is known as the Vernier scale, and we get Vernier scale division, Vernier scale reading, VSR, VSD. These terms are used like this. So this is what you should know. Rest, locking, screw, movable internal jaw, this you should know. You should just know this is the main scale. For calculations, main scale is this. This is the Vernier scale. Now, I'll tell you about its least count and all. The least count is given by one main scale division. Okay, this will be provided to you because you don't have practicals. You don't have to do any practical based on this. So all the data will be provided to you, and there are questions that have come from NEET where all these things. That question time was also from your NEET paper, and a similar question came in JE also once. So one main scale division minus one Vernier scale division. This is what it is. Okay, this is just the formula of the least count, because you cannot remember it by seeing it. You cannot count it, right? Because you are just solving a numerical. You are not doing any practical. So you should know a formula. And remember, each division on the Vernier scale is smaller than the division on the mean scale. Okay, I'll write this. So generally, what happens? Generally, each division, or in fact, I'll say each VSD is lesser than MSD. This statement came in AIMS paper. Okay, so this is what is meant by the least count. Now, this is the smallest measurement that can be made. This we already know. Now, if let's say, now this is the formula of the least count. So what happens is, when you put an object over here, the scale will move. Now something will coincide. Some 1 0 will coincide with other value. So this is how it works
Yeah.
basically. The coincision is taken. So let's say n number of VSDs are there. Let's say n VSD are equal. What we do is, Maha, basically, if let's say I have something over here, I have put it. Now, is it necessary? Do you think everything will be coincided? 0 will be coincided, all the values will be coincided. It's not necessary, no? Because you have just adjusted anything of any length. You have just put anything of any length. So if I put something over here, let's say I have put a small cylinder to calculate its height. Now it can happen 0. Okay, from here I have adjusted and seen. I'll see which one is coinciding. We see which one exactly coincides. The way from the Vernier scale and the main scale, which one will coincide? Because it's not necessary or 0 is coinciding, 1 is perfectly coinciding. We just count whichever is the nearest one, we count that. So that's what I'm writing. Let's say n number of VSD are equal to m of MSD, equal to m of MSD. Okay, means m marking from the main scale, this one m. And if I talk about the Vernier scale, from here, this n. Like this, they both are coinciding perfectly. Which it could be anything. Now you can adjust whatever it is depending upon the question. So just remember, n times VSD is equal to m times MSD. That's it. This is a very easy formula to remember, and a lot of content will be solved from here. Usually you will have to calculate the value of one VSD. Look, Ma, if I give you this data, number of VSD coinciding with the number of the main scale division, and I ask you what's the least count. So see what you can do, you can calculate from, you can say one VSD is basically M by N MSD. Like this you will get. Okay. So if you
Yeah.
have the information about MSD, VSD, least count and the value of one VSD can be easily calculated. Okay, that is, and remember, least count is actually means it can, an ordinary vernier calipers can give you the reading up to 0.01 centimeter. So see, this is how much the difference is there. 1 centimeter on the scale which we use, the 100 centimeter or 15 centimeter scale, and whereas its measurement can be up to 0.01 centimeter. So using a scale, you can calculate, let's say, the radius of the sphere is 3.02 centimeter. Like this, you get the radius of a sphere. So that will give you a lot of things, because this can 3.02 you
Yeah.
can never calculate using a centimeter scale. So this is why these devices are made. And just remember, if you don't know I was just telling you one thing, like if you don't know the least count, and just N and M are given to you, which are coinciding, then how will you calculate the least count? No idea about anything else. What you can do, least count, the main scale division will be given to you. The main scale division 1 minus main scale by vernier scale. This is also a formula that will give you. Let's say one main scale division, let's just say something. Let's say N is equal, or I'll say 10 VSD are coinciding with 9 MSD. Just a random data I've taken. And see, it's like one scale is having 9, other scale is having 10. And that is possible because you're just shifting. You're just shifting the movable scale. So see, if I'll have to calculate the least count here, I'll just simply say 10 VSD is equal to 9 MSD at the first place. And then I can say least count is equal to MSD 1 minus M by N for the least count. Now, how will I get the value of 1 MSD? So, look, 10 VSDs are given to you and 9 MSDs are given. See, what is exactly 1 MSD for you? What is exactly the value of 1 MSD? That should be
With
known to
10
you.
VST by 9.
No, so VSD we don't know. This is what is given. Then there will be a problem. No, then we'll have no idea if I say. So you should know
Yeah.
what is the smallest, means VSD. If it is not given, you should know what is the marking on the main scale. Okay, what is the smallest length? If I say no, if I say what is MSD, basically it's the marking on main scale, or you can say smallest length on main scale, the smallest, very small length on the main scale. Okay, that is what your MSD is. So basically, you can say, this is one more thing that I want to tell. One MSD is basically, if see, let's say marking on the main scale, let's say it is coinciding with 1 centimeter is there on our main scale, and there are 10 number of divisions. So that will make it 0.1 centimeter. One main scale division is 0.1 centimeter of the vernier caliper. Okay. So because two scales are there, so you'll have to remember two things. Main scale is there or the vernier scales is there. Now see, if you know this, now you can calculate the least count. Least count will be 0.1, 1 minus 9, 9 by 10, 9 by 10. 9 by 10. So that makes it 10 minus 9 by 10, which is equal to 0.1 into 1 by 10. That is 0.01 centimeter. The least count will come. So it will give you the data in a manner where you will get the least count correctly. Okay, and these things you should just understand that. See, how do we, just one more time, let me tell you how the experiment is done. See, when we have Let's say a small sphere is there and I want to calculate its diameter. Now, small diameter cannot be calculated using the regular scale because it will just tell whether its maximum it can say it is 1 centimeter. What if I know up to 2 decimal places? So I'll use a vernier calipers. I'll just put it here. In place of this, I'll just put it. Okay, and I want its diameter to be calculated. When I put it, automatically this has to be adjusted. So it can happen when we see the scales are present like this, and the other scales are present somewhere like this. They are not coinciding. So for such case, what you do, you start counting the number of divisions. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Let's say this is coinciding, any one of it. So you count from the main scale. I'm telling you practically what we do. You don't have to do anything like this here. I'm just telling so that when you study, you are at least able to relate a little bit because this is just a practical part. So you count from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like this you count, and from 1, 2, 3, 4 like this you count, whichever is coincide. That is your VSG, other one is the MSG, and the rest of it is just a formula which you should know. So remember the formula only for the NEET, but just in case if you're getting confused, what is exactly this main scale division and all? So that's for that purpose I've told you the practical part. Okay, write it. We'll discuss one or two more things, and one more device is this screw gauge that I'll tell you later. Please write it.
Okay. Ma'am,
Yes, Maha.
actually, I have an test on the 2nd on Tuesday. It's like a
Okay.
need-based test of 720 marks.
All right. On Tuesday.
And the physics
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Okay. Then
And the
what's the
physics
syllabus?
syllabus is motion in a straight line and motion in a plane.
Motion in a straight line and motion in a plane.
Yeah,
Okay, so motion in a straight line they've already taken.
yeah.
They're taking it again.
I mean, they haven't really taken any need-based test till now.
One which they took before, that wasn't need based.
Wait, I think, yeah, it was a need-based. That was state-based, the last exams that I had.
Okay, okay, all right. So, see, Maha, for motion in a straight line, it is just there's one more topic, relative velocity, which we didn't do. Otherwise, rest of it is exactly the same. Like I don't have to teach you something. Like in this chapter, I had to. That chapter, you refer the class notes properly. Motion in a plane is a little tricky because relative velocity there is difficult. So relative velocity is a topic. So if you want, we can share the video lectures with you if you have trouble with that. That we can do
Yeah.
because we just have today's class. If you told me before, I would have taken some questions from NEET only, from motion in a straight line. But it's okay that you won't find it very different. It's just a concept of relative velocity is there. We'll share the videos with you.
Okay. Done. I'm done. 10.
Okay, see, this says that in a Vernier caliper's mean scale is marked in millimeter. Means your one mean scale division is given as 1 millimeter. Now, see, since all the units of the least count are given in millimeter itself, so I'll just keep it in millimeter only. Okay, I'm not converting it. So 1 millimeter. It says 20. So VSD given to us is 20. VSD is coinciding with 16 main scale division. So from here we can pick out our N and M. N is equal to 20, M is 16. Now it says
Yeah.
least count. The least count will be MSD 1 minus N by M. Sorry, M by N. So this will be equal to 1 millimeter into 1 minus 16 by 20, which is equal to 1 millimeter into 4 by 20. So see, this is 1 by 5. So this is equal to 0.2 millimeter. This is a question, previous year question only. So 0.2 millimeter. Similarly, Maha, there was a question. I'll just tell you, I'll not write the full question. That came long time back. See, it was said that MSD is given in A units. Some A units were there. It was given in some A units. Then it said N Vernier scale division coincided with N plus 1 main scale division. So you had to calculate the value of N. You have to calculate the value of the least count. Okay, least count was asked in the question. I think just identifying the variables were important here in this question. This was given as A. Your small n is given as capital N. No, I think I've reversed this. This was given as n. This was given as n plus 1. Yes, this was the question. Because when we have this is n and m is equal to n. So finally, we can say least count is A, 1 minus n by n plus 1. When you take the LCM, see, A, n plus 1 minus n divided by n plus 1. So N will be cancelled. Answer is A by N plus 1, like this. Now these kinds of questions you will be able to solve.
Yeah.
Okay, there is just one more thing that can come, that have come in the exams. Now, this was just about the mean scale division and the Vernier scale division and the least count. How do you actually give the total reading? Finally, what do you give the total reading as? So see, total reading is given by main scale reading plus Vernier scale reading multiplied to the least count. Now, what is main scale reading? We just talked about divisions, so as to calculate the least count. A long question can be given to you where the least count is not mentioned. So how will you calculate the least count using this? That's why I told you how to calculate the least count first. Okay. So least count you will be able to calculate. Now, how to see main scale division and the Vernier scale division? Main scale division is basically the value on the main scale before zero. Okay, before zero of Vernier scale. I'll just write VS of the Vernier scale. It means, see, if I have the main scale like this, let's say this is the main scale, there are certain readings of it. This is how our main scale is present. Main scale is there. And then you have the Vernier scale also present, the smaller one, the Vernier scale. Let's say this is the Vernier scale. So it starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, whatever is its value here. Let's say this is how the scale is put. Now, whatever this value is coming, no, just where the zero, before the zero is coinciding, that is your main scale division, which you actually see from the figure. But see, you don't have to see that value for you will be provided. You will just, but I'm just telling you what is the main scale value. Okay. And what is this least LC? I hope you get it. That's the least count. Okay. And VSR is basically the coinciding division of the Vernier scale. Now, see, after this could be anything. This reading could be anything. The zero can even lie, in fact, between these two values. Now, you will say which
Yeah.
one is coinciding. Like, let's say this one is coinciding of the Vernier scale. So this becomes your VSR, this becomes your MSR, actually, just for your understanding. You don't have to go into the details because it's not a practical part that we are studying. Coinciding division of Vernier. Okay, Maha, just one question based on this I'll tell you, and I'll give you the assignment based on it. Lots of questions have come from Vernier calipers. That's why I discussed this topic with you. Okay, you write it. One question we'll discuss, and then I'll just brief you about screw gauge. Now understanding will be easier to you. Have you understood till here, Maha?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Done. Done.
Now, have you written this?
The question?
No, no, this above theoretical part.
Yeah.
Okay, see, this is the question. This says 10 VSD is equal to 9 MSD, and 1 centimeter on the main scale is divided into 10 parts. Now, see, here we'll have to calculate the value of MSD first. It says 1 main scale is divided into 10 parts. So, 1 main scale division will be, see, 1 centimeter by the number of divisions, that is 0.1 centimeter. Now 10 VSD is equal to 9 MSD. 10 VSD is equal to 9 MSD. So what we'll have to calculate? We have to calculate the least count first. So least count will be equal to 1 MSD. What's the formula, Maha? 1 minus
M
M by
by N.
M by N. From here, just tell me what is M, what is N?
N will be 10. M will be 9.
M will be,
9.
yes, M will be 9, N will be 10. From here, if you put the value, MSG is 0.1. So this is 0.1 centimeter. This is 1 minus 9 by 10, which is again 0.1 centimeter by 10, equal to 0.01 centimeter. See, coincidentally, it is coming exactly the same, but You have to solve it first and check. Now it says 0 of the vernier scale is just ahead of 1.8 centimeter mark. This means this is what? What is 1.8 given? Look into the notes. 0 of vernier scale is just ahead of 1.8 centimeter mark. So what is 1.8 given?
The main scale.
Main scale. Okay, 0 is marking main scale division, correct. So main scale reading is 1.8 centimeter. The number of the vernier scale reading, which is coinciding, I think it's given as fourth. It says, and fourth division of vernier scale coincides. So this is given as 4. Least count we have already calculated. So total reading will be MSR plus VSR into the least count. So MSR is equal to 1.8 plus 4 into 0.04. That is 0.04. So this is 1.804 centimeter because the unit here was centimeter. So what were the options? C option, 1.804 centimeter would be the answer. Okay. Now write down this. Let's discuss a little bit about screw gauge.
Done. Done. Ma'am, the answer is coming out to be 1.84.
What?
The answer is coming out to be 1.84 because over here you did a mistake. The last step, addition.
1.8. Okay, yes, 1.8. Correct. This should be 1.8 centimeter. Done.
Yeah.
Just a little bit about the screw gauge also, let me tell you. That will complete this chapter. Just wait. See, this is how a screw gauge looks like. This is the circular scale here. Basically, it gives the reading more in micrometers. Okay, so this is known as a micrometer screw. So when anything is put here, whatever measurement you need to calculate the radius or whatever object it is put between the stud and the screw. And using the ratchet, this is turned. So circular divisions are there. So you have a circular scale here, and there is this. This is the main scale of it, which is called the pitch scale. Also, we call this as the main scale also. So this is your circular scale because this is complete circle when you see it from the top view, while this is the number of divisions. Now here there would be one more thing because the screw gauge turns this screw gauge this turns and completes the circle part. Like if I have to adjust something, I'll have to turn the ratchet and that will adjust. Like it can the circular scale can move backwards. The circular scale can move upwards also. Okay, upwards or downwards, this circular scale can move. So whatever division of the circular scale is coinciding with the main scale, that will give you the readings. So the way we had the main scale and the vernier scale, and your vernier scale was movable over your main scale. Here, this circular scale is there, which will coincide. Now, see, since this has a circular turn, there is a helical path of the circular scale that has to be covered when it is adjusting the length. So this one single length, when it covers a circular distance, this is known as the pitch of the scale. And pitch will be utilized for the calculation of least count in this case. It's basically the distance between the uh, two consecutive threads. Threads means the way you have threads in a screw. If you take the screw, you have threads in here. So like this, so distance between two consecutive threads you have, this is the distance. So this will be the distance between two consecutive threads. That is what is the definition of pitch will be given to you. Now, see, the least count is related with the pitch and the circular scale division. So what you do, how to calculate the least count here? You take the value of the pitch here and you divide it. See, this is written as the pitch scale in this figure. It is the main scale only. This pitch scale is actually your main scale. So pitch divided by the number of circles. If you are calculating the total reading is equal to main scale reading plus the circular scale reading multiplied to the least count. Like we used to calculate there. So instead of the vernier scale reading, here you will have something extra, that is the circular scale reading. Main scale reading will be there, least count will be there. Formula of least count is different, pitch divided by the number of circular scale division. So what is MSR? MSR is basically the reading on the main scale just before the zero of the circular scale this time. The way it was not the reading just before the zero of the Vernier scale. Here it is the circular scale.
Yeah.
While this is the number of the division that is coinciding with the baseline in the circular scale. And least count, this is already there. So this is how you have to solve the questions of it. On the theoretical part of it,
Done. Done.
okay, Maha, so I'll just stop here because time is up. Now, one question I'll just practice from screw gauge with you in the next class, and I'll start with motion
Okay.
in a straight line. So, Seema, in the next class, we'll complete motion in a straight lines theoretical part before the relative velocity. So, just revise and come. Already, you will have to study it for your NEET part also. So, just revise it so that when we discuss the question directly, it is solvable for you. Okay, because
Okay.
there is nothing new in that in the motion in a straight lines concept. We'll be just discussing relative velocity. That is the whole concept which is new for you. Okay, I'll give you questions from this Vernier caliper part. Please do it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.